Welcome. In this video we're going to work on the lighting plan, the reflected ceiling plan. We're going to go over to the Systems tab and bring in a lighting family just like we bring in any other kind of family. We're going to go to Architectural and Internal, and we're going to work with the down light. There's a couple of pendant lights in there. They're really not very up to date, but in the spotlight is not a very good one. So we're going to work with the recessed can. And actually at some point you're going to need to increase the amount of light that comes out of it. But here it is, and it says what height that it's going to go in, which is 8 feet. And we are on the second floor right now, and we moved our ceiling up to 9'3". So I'm going to begin putting in the light fixtures now. With a diagonal ceiling there, it is a little hard to line up your light fixtures. And usually I recommend that you put down one and then copy the rest of them. Now if we want to see the furniture underneath, we could go to this space underlay and put floor 1, and now I can put the light fixture directly over the table. I'm going to make sure I can copy it in a straight line, so that's constrained, and then I also want to make sure that I can do more than one, and that is multiple. So I'm just kind of picking my way and getting an approximate location apart with this diagonal, and I can always clean that up later, but I think that gets the general idea. Now I'm going to scoop that up and unclick windows because I don't want windows in there. I just want to copy this line of light fixtures. It's just a quick way to get a lot of downlights in there. Now there are a lot of websites with manufacturers models for light fixtures, and some of them have actual IES data and everything as far as how it would light the foot candles. So explore that. But anyway, put the light fixtures also over the service, over the reception area on the second floor. And when we look up, we can see the light fixtures are in the diagonal ceiling. I'm going to continue with ceilings, and this time with a 2x4 ceiling. We're going to put the ceiling into the kitchen. The reason I'm needing to put the ceiling in the kitchen, not only to make your drawing look complete, but it will also help the lighting from the rendering with the window that's open and help us anticipate what that's going to appear like. So for this we're going to select a fluorescent light, and in there is the troffer light, and this is just what's in the package, and you're welcome to find other light fixtures. And in this case we're not going to worry about the hood just yet or anything like that, the kitchen hood. We're just going to place that even spaces apart and then use Control to collect all three. Then we're going to copy again in regular spacing. You just use the grid to help you figure out an even spacing, or you can be typing in the dimension that you want. And so within a very short period of time you're able to get all the lighting put in. You can also use Array for this. Now we're going to put some more of these downlights in the ceiling over the service bar. Just as a general note, all lighting that goes over open food is needing to have a cover on it so that if the light bulb bursts, that glass won't get into the food. Now what I just did was I typed in the dimension apart, how far apart I wanted all of those. Moving forward, we're looking at the corridor, and this is the troffer light in the corridor, which will be a good bright lighting. And if we go over to graphic display options instead of visual display graphics, we can begin to look at what our drawing, our rendering might look like with the lighting turned on. So what I just did was to tell it to use the interior lighting and also to have some shadows and shade, and you can see that it does have an effect. The lighting is on. Going back, let's go look at the floor plan again, the reflected ceiling plan. And on the second floor, we have all of that filled in. And you continue on in the bathrooms. We're going to turn off this underlay. And then here is our finished product with our lighting in there. And that is going to help us render. And we may need to come back and fix the lighting, but we can also see the opening in the kitchen and the menu board in the kitchen. Now we're going to send this to the cloud to render, and this is the first menu that we're going to get. But before we go there, we like to tell the computer what our render settings are. So we're going to go over to our render settings and set these so that the cloud will use these settings. Now I haven't, sometimes doesn't come out exactly right, and you just have to keep playing around with a lot of different things. But we're going to start our rendering, and it will do this process, and then it'll let you continue in the background. And here is the rendering that I received back in a little bit. And so now I'm going to go select all of these downlights in the whole project, and I'm going to go edit the type. Now I don't want to make it an 8-inch light fixture because that's very large. I'm just going to increase the luminous intensity up to 3500 candela. And all I have to do is put in 3500, and then that is going to improve my lighting. And sometimes it makes it too bright. And again, you're just going to experiment. But here is the product that I received back from that. So show me your rendering.